こんにちは、高田健三です。新型コロナの影響で世界中のさまざまな文化イベントなどが中止になっていますが、そうした中で広島の原爆記念日の今日、広島とニューヨークを起点に世界中をアートでつなぐというこの企画は、世界に不安が広がる今だからこそ日本がやらなければならないことだと思います。この中継をパリで見ることを楽しみにしています。
Hiroshima, Fukushima, and Chernobyl are connected by one tragedy. The destructive atom left a mark on the hearts of many people. In memory of this, the world-famous fashion designer Takada Kenzo has created a unique project in which celebrities of Spain, France, Argentina, and now Ukraine painted small Japanese toy tumbler dolls called Oki Agari Koboshi. The main purpose of my visit this time was the Oki Agari Koboshi project. I started it 5 years ago. March 11, 2017 marked the 6th anniversary of the Fukushima nuclear power plant accident. I wanted to honor the memory of that tragedy and hold this exhibition of peace in Kyiv. The designer created the Kenzo house in 1970, perpetuating his name in the world fashion history. But in 1999, he announced his unexpected resignation from the company. A year after the devastating tsunami and the explosion at the Fukushima nuclear power plant, Kenzo decided to help Japan with a humanitarian mission. To preserve the beauty of our world, people must help each other more, so that there will be no betrayals. Everyone can make an effort to do that. We must not rely on others, but strive to make our own contribution. In addition, we must take care of nature, so that tragedies of the catastrophic scale of Chernobyl and Fukushima never happen again. The opening of the Oki Agari Koboshi project took place on March 11 at the Chernobyl Museum in Kyiv. Since its opening in 1992, the museum has collected more than 7,000 exhibits. Declassified documents, maps and photographs, the evidence of the heroic feats of the liquidators of the disaster, made a strong impression on the Japanese designer. That was my first visit to the Chernobyl Museum in Kyiv, and I was moved by the exposition. My heart was pierced with pain at the sight of photographs of the liquidators and the consequences of the Chernobyl accident. I would like as many people as possible to see those photos. I really liked the organization of the Oki Agari Koboshi exhibition. After all, Koboshi is a little doll, and people put so many feelings into it. This amazing energy can be felt at a mere glance at the tumbler doll. Oki Agari Koboshi is the symbol of the Fukushima prefecture. Their special shape does not allow them to fall down, which conveys the spirit of the project, to always get up and go forward. Life goes on is the main message from Ukrainians to the people of Fukushima. After the exposition in Kyiv, the Koboshi dolls will be sent to Fukushima. There, an exhibition will be organized to convey messages from Ukrainian celebrities and artists who took part in the project. The winner of the Eurovision Song Contest 2016, Jamala, football player Andriy Shevchenko, and former boxer and now mayor of Kyiv, Vitaly Klitschko, painted the Koboshi. The families of the liquidators also made a contribution. The people of Fukushima know their feelings especially well. But the most amazing thing for the Japanese guests were the dolls diligently painted by children. Strong feelings were put into every Koboshi, but I was touched the most by the dolls painted by children with disabilities. The famous designer also visited the families of the liquidators, who have established their organization Zemляки after the forced move.
いや、すごいです。学校いろいろ見てもらって。
I really liked the energy of the people in the Chernobyl organization Zemляки. I would like to convey these feelings to the people of Fukushima.
すごいエネルギッシュで、なんか未来とか。
Because life goes on. In addition, I was pleased to see that those people are very interested in Japanese culture. The hospitality and cordiality of the Ukrainian hostesses did not leave the Japanese guests indifferent. I really liked Ukrainian borscht. The hostesses that were treating me to borscht put their souls into it. The feelings a cook puts into homemade food always give the dish a unique taste. Your dumplings are similar to the Japanese dish gyoza. Ukrainian bandura players performed for us before dinner. The sound of the bandura reminded me of the melody of the Japanese shamis. I started reminiscing about my native Japan as soon as I heard it. Another initiative of Kanzu in Ukraine is the Kidzo Guernica project. Following Picasso, who painted Guernica, Ukrainian schoolchildren created their meter-long canvases, sending warm greetings to the people of Hiroshima. The main point in their work was not the skill, but the sincerity of the young artists.
皆さんすごくエネルギッシュで。
I was touched by the feelings the Ukrainian children put into the Kids of Guernica project. I was filled with their bright hope for a better future. I have not been to school for a long time, and I was very happy to see school children run along the corridors and see them communicating with each other. It is very inspiring. I was a very calm child in my school days. I did not think about art at all back then. Modern Ukrainian children show a keen interest in creativity, and that's beautiful.
皆さん関心持ってどんどんやられてるんで嬉しいなと思います。
Kanzu's initiative also incited the interest of residents of the city of Slavutich. The city was built in 1986 for the workers of the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, evacuated from the exclusion zone. The arrival of the fashion designer became one of the most important events in the history of this quiet town.
まず最初はね、
We came to Slavutich to watch the development of the project of Kids of Guernica and Oki Agari Koboshi.
学習しました我々も。
There was a concert which began with the Furusato song. It is a Japanese folk song that made me remember my homeland when I heard it, and my heart sank from the memories. Then Ukrainian children entertained me with their dances and songs. The talented young violinist Ilya Bondarenko also performed, and the Argentine opera singer Natalia Lemercier, who came to Slavutich within the project, performed an aria from the opera Madame Butterfly. The trip to Slavutich surpassed all my expectations. It was joyful to observe how people worked for their city and their future. The family ties are very close there. The city itself seemed to me as one big, friendly family. It is a place where you feel that there is a purpose to keep on fighting. The majority of the population works at enterprises in the exclusion zone. Despite their difficult lives, the locals have kept a simple, good-natured disposition. I was received very cordially, and not as an official person, but as a relative or a friend. Children from Slavutich came up to me and told about their messages to people in Fukushima, which will be sent along with the koboshi. It was very touching. This is the fourth visit of Kanzu to Ukraine. Last time in 2012, the designer presented his own watercolors in one of the capital's art galleries. All my visits were related to work on various projects, and my schedule is very intense. So I have not seen many of the sights of this beautiful city. I would like to come here someday as a tourist. I really like visiting Ukraine. So far, I have only managed to visit Kyiv and Lviv. In Kyiv, I was pleased to see a lot of traditional Ukrainian architecture and churches. We also try to preserve our cultural heritage in Japan. In light of this, I understand perfectly well now why Kyiv and Kyoto are called sister cities. Upon our request, the world-famous designer did not refuse to give advice to his young colleagues in Ukraine. I started my career 60 years ago. During this time, much has changed in the fashion world and all over the world in general. The only thing I would like to say to young Ukrainian designers is to keep working towards their goals and never surrender. Anything can happen in life, but we must keep aspiring towards fulfilling our dreams. Young people should gain as much experience as possible and always seek in life new and different adventures. Once, the famous designer created a branded flavor with the motto, "The world is beautiful." Today, he makes every effort to preserve the beauty of our world.